Hi there! Welcome to today's class. Our lesson for the day is data collection. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to collect data in the classroom and your environment. What comes to your mind when you hear the word data? Is it a smartphone's internet connection? Well, that is internet data. But the data we shall be discussing in this lesson is the statistical data, which is different and much more interesting. If you've ever counted the number of teachers in your school or perhaps the number of students in your class, then what you've done is called data collection. Data is simply the information that exists in the world around us, and data collection is the process of procedure through which we gather this information. Now, in order to collect data, we can make use of a number of procedures, which include 1. Survey. A survey is a process which involves asking questions in order to get answers that will serve as data. For example, if you want data on how many siblings your favorite classmate has, you could simply just ask him or her orally or in writing. Another procedure for data collection, and perhaps the most commonly used one, is 2. Observation. Observation involves making use of the sense organs like the eye, nose, and ear to collect data about something or someone. For example, if you want data on how many students are in your class, you could simply use your eyes to check around the class and count everyone. Data collection doesn't just end at counting or getting answers, but it goes on to recording the answers you get. And that brings us to number 3, recording. Now, data recording is important because it helps you always remember the data you have collected without having to collect the same data all over again. Wouldn't you love to learn how to record every data that you collect? In that case, I'll teach you an easy method of recording collected data. This method is commonly called the use of frequency tables, also known as a tally chart. Frequency tables are tables that are used to record and organize data into a simplified form. For example, if you want to count the number of male and female students in your class, you could draw a frequency table that looks like this. As you can see on the table, there is a row for gender, another for tally, and a third for frequency. Let's take a look at a practical example of data collection. Question 1. This displayed group picture represents all the students in your class. Collect and record the data of all the male and female students. Well, how will you answer the question using the frequency table? Let's do it together. First of all, you should draw 2 rows under the gender column on your frequency table and label them male and female to represent the boys and girls in your class. Next, you can count the number of girls in your class and represent each girl with a single stroke on the tally row. Let's count the number of girls together and record it on the tally row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we cross the 5th one across, and we continue counting till 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we cross the 10th one across again, and continue counting 11, and lastly 12. There are 12 girls in the class, so we go on to write 12 in the frequency row here. Did you notice that the tally row is in groups of 5s? Well, that is how data is recorded in the tally row. 4 strokes and a 5th one across to make it 5. Can you count the number of boys in the class? Let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we cross the 5th one across and continue counting. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we cross the 10th one across and continue counting. 11, 12, and lastly 13. There are 13 boys in the class, so we go on to write 13 in the frequency row here. Well done! We have successfully collected and recorded data about a class. Don't you think it's fun and easy? You can follow the steps we followed to collect and record data like the number of different snacks in the school canteen, the number of male and female teachers, or even the number of aunties and uncles you have. Just remember to draw your frequency table correctly and always arrange the tally row in groups of 5. That brings us to the end of our lesson on data collection, where we focused on what data is and how to collect and record it. I hope you enjoy the class. See you next time.